Hey, it's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. How you guys doing today? Of course, it is our mission to try to bring you some news that you could use. Today will definitely not be an exception to the rule. Follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Our website is obnradio.com. And without any further delay, we are going to jump right into today's episode. On Monday's episode, I gave a recap of the Dr. Reid's meet and greet with PV alum and faithful from the Prairie View Athletic House. And I told you what I felt about it, but as I began to listen to my recordings, I heard a message within the message. And I want you to pay close attention to what is being said and how it's being said. It's not the entire segment, but I didn't want to cut this segment up because I didn't want to be accused of trying to slant someone's words, but I want you to really, really pay attention. I'll paint the scenario so when you hear what's going on, it'll make a little bit more sense to you. Donald Glover was asking a question from the audience in regards to a couple of things, actually, but tickets, a plan, and trust from administration back to alumni base. And I want you to really pay attention to the response of Dr. Reid. And I'll come back and talk a little bit more about this. But we're going to switch over now and hear the interaction between Donald Glover and Dr. Donald Reid from Saturday.
No words, it was a little static, so that's why I was testing it. Good morning, I'm Donald Glover, and I wanted to ask a question that's more specific. I know I have a fellow Pantherettes here, and we like to get down to business. And so one of the things is you just mentioned, I think that Greg has mentioned this to you, but there is a lack of confidence with this athletic department, correct? Okay, and so just now we asked what was the GPA. That's a standard question, and you could give us what the GPA was for athletics. That's a problem.
I can give that to you. It's 3.26.
Now, because somebody told you. I'm not trying to be fair, but I'm coming correct. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking you to come correct as well, because we need the information, like time out, like you ain't know what happened 36 months ago, but you should be able to tell us what happened 12 months ago and 24 months ago. You know what I'm saying? You said you have a plan. What's the plan? There should be some aspects of that plan already in play. And I will take 6 months to pay a plan. You know, we're here because we're frustrated and we want to help Prairie be successful as it has always been. But we need the information. We don't need it sugarcoated. We don't need no piecemeal. It's not being given to us in a professional manner. All of those things. And so we're here because all of us are graduated from Prairie View or attended. We are professionals. And we're asking that the university, including Dr. Mike, treat us as such. If we spending our money, we want to know where it's going. And in this part, we should have a plan to say, hey, we need this. I called last week and I couldn't get anybody to give me no season tickets. You see what I'm saying? And I bought 2 seats out there. I have 2 pair of season tickets and I purchased the seats. So I ain't just giving $1, but even if I did get $1, I'm saying, what's going on? How come you cannot give us, as a professional, correct? How come we have not gathered any information? How come we don't have a plan? How come just getting someone to do a fundraising, but then when they ask what the plan is for the fundraising, you can't give us that. I'm not saying, because I worked at the Pentagon, so I'm not saying anything that is liable to the school. But I'm just saying, hey, we have, them writing, we reached out to Exxon, AT&T, all these things. This is what we have in motion. This is what we have for operations as far as getting our tickets. This is what we have for marketing. You see what I'm saying? What is the marketing plan? As an athletic director, all of these things come under your position. So why are we not saying that in 24 months? Like, we gotta do better.
And the reason I was trying to cut you off now, but I can repeat the question. I can go a little long, so forgive me if I cut it back for folks on Zoom. Now I'm going to ask a question about a plan for each department, basically, for marketing, for each coach, if you will, but a plan that should be in place by now. Am I saying that correctly, Donna?
Yes.
In other words, we should know, and I won't get into the contention about 3.2, but she wants to understand why we don't have a plan in place and ready to go, like we ready to report to this group today and folks online.
And when will we have a plan, Jake, please?
When will we have a plan?
We have a concrete plan. We will have that concrete plan by September 1st. It's been in operation over the last 6 months. Okay? So, this is not my first rodeo, so I understand. Anyone that would like to talk to me offline, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. I don't think we all have done that. And, I'm sure. But again, man, I get maybe 400 emails a day. So I'm working as diligently and as hard as I can. And I'm
our frustration, right?
I'm with you. I get you. I hear you. I'm listening. And that's why I decided to do like it here. I'm going to share this with you. I said this earlier. I'm going to share this with you. I got to stand in front of the thing. I got to stay here for this thing. I'm a team player. First, I'm going to start with that. I don't know if everybody knows my history, but I'm going to give you the brief history. Son of 2 educators, son of 2 PhD, K-12 educators, son of 2 coaches, high school coaches. I was one of those kids that was on the sideline. I spent close to 30 years in this industry, every level of Division I. I take what I do seriously. I expect us to be excellent. I expect myself to be excellent. But the most important thing is the team. I was telling someone earlier today, Muhammad Ali made a Harvard speech to Harvard graduates back in the day. In his part, he leaves. They start chanting. Poem, because Muhammad Ali was known for his little poem. He comes back to the podium and stands up and says, me, we, and walks off. That's stuck with me. I can't win by myself. I have to have a team and support group that's in alignment and it work. That's anyway. I'm sure you've done your research, you know where I've been. Every one of those groups has things like this. But at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. And we should be helping our teammates to do what's necessary for us to be successful. At the end of the day, no matter what my position is, point guard, blocker, equipment person, it's all important. So I'm here to win, to educate, all of that. All encompassing. But it takes a team of folks that's pulling in the same direction. In this building, on the campus, in the community, Belongs to everybody. So yes, this course is important. Put it on the table, it's important. But at the end of the day, once we leave this locker room, we're all on the same page.
Wow. That's all I can really say. There was a lot said. There was a lot in this interaction. I'm going to try to dissect it as much as possible. Now you can see why I didn't want to cut it up in bits and pieces. I wanted you to hear the passion that was coming from the fan base. In this turn, it was Donna Glover with her Q&A, and she stated that Dr. Reid, 36 months in operation now, July 15th, was the 3-year mark of him being the athletic director at Prairie View. You heard the frustration, you heard the concerns, you heard the lack of confidence. But in all fairness, this is not a situation that just occurred when it comes to leadership roles, in particular athletic directors at Prairie View A&M University. Now, this is not going to go over well with some folk, but Dr. Reid walked into a situation, hopefully with his eyes wide open, knowing that there were some things that needed to be addressed and addressed ASAP. Now, we can go through a brief history line of athletic directors, but those that keep up with PV athletics, I don't think you need their refresher course. We know the people that have been in place. We know the speculations and accusations that have been going on throughout leadership. And with Dr. Reid coming in place, yes, I think there should have been something achieved at this point. This is year number 3. You got a 4-year contract. But then also, just thinking outside the box, could the situation have been so deep that it just took him this long to actually just get all the weeds out? That's something we won't probably have insights on to probably 20 years down the road when people feel comfortable enough about talking about what is actually going on. Okay, but the thing that I really wanted us to hear, and I hope you heard it, you can always go back, listen to this, or you can go and listen to the full clip. I believe the National Alumni Association had the video of it. But Dr. Reid got caught up for a moment in his passion and in his truth. And he made it very clear, and I don't know if anyone chose to hear this message or not, but the first thing that he said was, I cannot win by myself. He made a reference to Muhammad Ali speaking at a graduation. They asked him for a poem, and he pointed to himself, said me, and pointed to the crowd and said we, indicating that it takes a team to get things accomplished. And he went on deeper to say that everyone on his team needs to be headed in the same direction. I don't know if you heard it, but to me, it sounds like the brother is dealing with some internal strife, some disgruntledness from whichever direction is coming from, which is impeding his progress of moving forward. I'll say it again. When you have leadership that is not in tune, not that concerned, or flat out don't understand athletics as they should, these are the type of situations that you get. And unfortunately, for those who are supporting the purple and gold, We have to wade through this, and we have to sort this kind of stuff out for the betterment of our beloved university. There was some frustration that I heard. There was some aggravation that I heard. There were some disappointments that I heard. And you can only do so much without the proper support. He even went on further to say, this is not my first rodeo, which is indication I've been around, and this is the first place that I've come to, i.e. Prairie View, that the people are pulling every which direction but the same direction. Now, am I mishearing something? Am I misinterpreting? I'm not on anyone's payroll. Y'all know that you all accuse me of being the antagonizer, but I'm for the truth. I'm for what's right. And if we're going to do what's right, if we're going to be for the truth, we have to take the good with the bad. There are some things that I would like to see Dr. Reid do a little bit better, but understanding how bureaucracy works, understand how thick the political walls are, I do long suffer with him on certain things. But then once again, we as PV alum can make some changes happen if we so choose to. When we have leaders, the leaders are not there to be our friends. They're there to produce for us. They are there to carry out the mission of our beloved university. And if they appear to be inadequate, then we must replace them to keep the train moving. And I want you to hear me real good. I'm not talking about replacing Dr. Reid. I'm more or less talking about our presidents, if the truth be told. And I know some of you are not going to like this, but it is what it is. We have a president in place right now that is not that concerned, from what I've seen, about athletics. And as a result, these are the type of things that we have to deal with. Dr. Wright was not that concerned about athletics. Dr. Becton was not concerned about athletics. We can go on and name a plethora of presidents that wasn't that concerned about athletics, that they would position the athletic department to be the very best that it can be through leadership and financial support. That's my opinion. And I'm going to stick to that. Now, you might not like it. It might turn you off. And I'm not going to apologize for it, but it is what it is. The man literally cried out and said, he's fighting all these matters by himself. He has no support, or he doesn't have the full support that he needs. Now, I don't want to be putting words in his mouth, and I know someone, just like the nature of people, will say, hey, did Prince said this? Well, I did to a degree, but go back and listen to what he said. Hear what he said. September 1st, I can't wait, because it's going to be something of need that we get that athletic budget out. And hopefully PV Nation, once they have a clear picture, they can step up with their financial support. We've been asking for transparency. Here it is. How are we going to deal with it? This is a little bit longer than what I normally do. I appreciate you guys hanging in with me, but it's time for me to exit stage left. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Don't forget, follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Visit the website at obnradio.com. I gotta go, but until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.